Hey guys, what's up? I'm here to give you guys a recap on a new episode of Sword Art Online Alicization War of Underworld, which is on episode 15, which is titled Instigation. Now, this episode right here, ooh man, talk about it looks like things were in one's favor, but la ding ding turn around saying not yet kind of thing. You guys might be asking me, what the blazing Pete's are you even talking about? I'll get to that just a second, alright? So, let's just get this started right away. We have to it that Shinon arrives in front of Alice, but unfortunately for her, she was too late to show up on the nick of time to save Bakuli, etc., you know? Because, in last episode, we all know that Bakuli gave his life away to defeat Emperor Vector, and hell, he did everything he can, and, Alice mourns his death, and Shinon greets herself to Alice and talks to her a bit, and convinces her to go to the location south from here. But Alice, on the other hand, says otherwise, saying she can't just abandon her homeworld to these people, etc. Eventually, Shinon does reveal her identity, that she is from the real world, and tries to convince Alice otherwise, because Bakuli and Kirito gave their pain, their lives, and the damaged Kirito's soul to save you. You should not let that go to waste. So, in other words, Shinon convinces Alice to go towards south of the altar, or whatever location it is, to get out of here before. And don't let the lives and damage that Kirito sustained and Bakuli gave his life go to waste, Alice reluctantly decides to do so and will make sure her efforts will not go to waste and ask her about Emperor Vector. And Shinon says, apparently he's not dead. He's going to be coming back, but I'll hold him off for you as best as I can, Alice was kind of shocked about this, but decides to reluctantly go anyway. And then we go to a scene switch with the Pugilius leader and the girl with the thin sword whatsoever. We get to see them in action, and later on, we have to it that they gave their everything. Of course, the Pugilius leader apparently is at his limit and he's at a damaged state. While it goes for the same Integrity Knight girl with the thin sword that finally broke on her. And we have to it that these two we have to it that the Integrity Knight girl actually loves the guy in the end, after confessing, saying, I realized why my sword broke or what I was looking for to keep slashing. That's to protect you. And in other words, she confessed in an implicit way that she loves him, He, on the other hand, feels the same way and ends up, they both hug each other and get ready for death, and says, I really was hoping to have a good kid of a Pugliist who could be a better leader than I am, with you. And she said, no, I'm about to have I would have had our child to become an Integrity Knight, And it was pretty sweet, and they end up staring at the red army of human players and gets ready for death, because they're already at the limit. And we have to that Asuna and Klein are greeting each other for a bit, talking to each other, but apparently they just freaking have some bad news. That guy that that logged back in? I don't remember the first name, but all I know is Asuna says, hey, doesn't that guy look familiar? And Klein realizes that raincoat and realizes that he's from the Killer Guild that was in the first season. In other cases, I guess you could call him that he's a leader or something, etc., And this becomes worse than it has to be, because we have a Phantom of the Guild, or Laughing Coffin, whatever the name is, from the first season, come back, and they brought in more players, and Klein realizes, oh hell no, this is worse than before, because these players are from China and Korea. And we get to see a simple scene where where they make an advertisement to the Chinese and Korean server players, saying, hey man, I got some bad news. We got some Japanese players hacking into the system and having high-tech skills and trying to kill us and ruin everything for everybody. They hacked into the system, they're cheating, help us out. Let's drive them out, kind of thing. And it really brought in a lot of Chinese and Korean players to come come to the underworld. But in other words, they don't realize that they're really taking lives of certain people. Although they are just artificially intelligent people that were just created by Raft and all that, they don't know that. The guy who showed himself to Asuna and Klein ends up making a speech saying, hey, these guys are evil people, they're hacking to the system, they're gonna freaking cheat us out, they're gonna try to like ruin the game for us, kind of thing. Pretty much the guys are trying to make the Japanese look like they're very evil, you know, and so far it's kind of working right now, and Asuna seems to be at her limit and she's about to get her butt handed. But we also get to see a scene with like Shinon having to see Subtilizer, or the person that she saw in the previous game she has. She realizes that this person is not the person who just played Emperor Vecta, but it's the person that freaking like is Subtilizer or something, which really shocks Shinon, while the guy ends up using some kind of ability to like put Shinon in her place, and it looks like to me she can't really move at all, kind of thing, you know. I'm thinking in my mind, oh no, this is not gonna end well for her. And of course, we have to it that, you know, back in the real world, you know, we have to it that Higa and Yamai ends up meeting going to the location where like Higa is able to like connect Kirito's STL, you know, and Yamai, the guy who apparently was supposed to like guard or bodyguard Higa, ends up pointing a gun to him and tells him not to move. And looks like to me we have a traitor in the midst, because he's pointing a gun to him while like the other guys at the Ichiman team are trying to be a distraction. And Higa's like, wait a minute, why the hell are you pointing a gun at me? What are you trying to do, man? Etc. And the episode ends off there. And we have to it that preview of next episode is called Code 871, etc. Or just Code 871. So yeah, things were looking so good on Asuna's side and everyone else because they just showed up in the nick of time. But apparently, you know, things, the way how it went with the Pugliese leader and the Integrity Knight girl, they're not going to be surviving for long unless someone shows up to save them, which I can only think about that it's Lifa, which is Suguha, etc. As for the rest of the other, as for Klein and Asuna and the rest of the other people, they are being they're going to be more outnumbered now by the Chinese and Korean players who decided to jump into the underworld, etc. After the guys decided to make a freaking lying speech saying, oh, these guys hacked into our game, we gotta drive them up so we can like get them out of here, you know. But one of the players, I forgot to mention in small and minor detail, that this guy, that he's wondering, if you guys are test administrators, why can't you just shut down the server, you know? That's kind of good of a question, so it's pretty much really like something that's confusing and at the same time like suspicious, you know? And of course, you know that ending, Yamai-san points a gun at Higa-kun, the guy with the glasses and yellow hair, and I'm like, are you serious right now, man? What the hell? So I really don't know what's really bound to happen. I don't know what's Yamai-san's side of the story, but it looks like to me he might have been a traitor or a spy for the American army. I don't know. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zitto. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!